This is Noir Alley, and I'm your host, Eddie Muller. In 1946, Columbia Pictures took a gamble, putting a relatively unknown contract player in a vehicle tailored expressly for the studio's most glamorous, sexy, and popular actress, Rita Hayworth. The movie was Gilda, and its colossal success was due in large measure to the fiery chemistry the love goddess shared on-screen and off with her up-and-coming co-star, Glenn Ford. Now, he certainly wasn't cut from the same gorgeous cloth as Hayworth's previous co-stars, Tyrone Power and Gene Kelly, but it was his average Joe persona that helped make Gilda such a smash. Normal guys thought they too might have a chance with one of the most beautiful women in the world. So it was no surprise when the following year Columbia contrived to cash in on Gilda's success. But instead of re-teaming Hayworth and Ford, the studio put their red-hot stars into separate noir films. Hayworth became, under the direction of her husband Orson Welles, the lady from Shanghai. And Ford found himself in today's film, Framed, far from the exotic casinos of Buenos Aires, yet still in thrall to a gorgeous woman, one who was far more of a femme fatale than Gilda. His co-star this time was Janice Carter, who had landed at Columbia after knocking around a few years in small parts at Fox and MGM, mostly in musicals. And she had studied in New York to be an opera singer and was brought to Hollywood by Darryl Zanuck after he'd seen her singing in a Broadway show. But things didn't catch fire for Carter until 1946, when she appeared in a low-rent Columbia B called Night Editor. She made quite an impression as a high society dame who witnesses a gruesome murder and gets instantly turned on. It's one of the era's most outrageous bad girl roles, and it led directly to her being cast in the A picture you're about to see. Carter is what's known in Noir Alley as a long, cool drink of water. I can't say she was the greatest actress in the world, but she certainly knew how to make an impression.
Kind of warm, isn't it?
With Night Editor and Framed under her garter belt, Carter would over the next several years be cast mostly as alluring vixens, a persona she tired of by the mid-50s when she married a New York shipping tycoon and retired from show business. Director Richard Wallace should be the pride of Sacramento, California, where he was born in 1894. But in fact, he's been virtually forgotten as a director, despite a lengthy filmography that runs from the silent era through the 1940s. Although he was more at home with comedy, Wallace made a pair of better-than-average noir films, 1943's Fallen Sparrow and this picture, in which he's ably abetted by Columbia's ace noir cameraman, Burnett Guffey. Now, this picture was produced under the terrible title They Walk Alone, but was renamed Paula once the studio decided to pitch it as another Gilda. And it was actually released under that title in overseas markets where the term framed didn't translate. Now, some critics at the time chided that the picture, ultimately released with that apt if generic title, Framed, owed so much to James M. Cain, it should have been called Single Indemnity. Well, to hell with those stuffy critics. A strong supporting cast, including Barry Sullivan, Karen Morley, and Edgar Buchanan, are clearly having a ball with all the sordid shenanigans stuffed into the script, and you can't help but have fun watching it. It may not be Gilda, but it's pretty damn good. And I think you're going to like being framed.